From 100 miles away and somehow I still make it work. But it's overrated and somehow played out. 3 doors down so you can't ignore it. I'll hunt you down like a Tyrannosaurus. My teeth are sharp like a great white shark. Let me taste that flesh. It's my
Sniper rifles.
favorite part. Got an eagle beak with the ostrich feet. 7 spider eyes for every day.
NASCAR on a given day doesn't win. That's one of the things we love about NASCAR. Anything's possible just about any weekend. But it can also be one of the most frustrating parts about NASCAR, especially when it bites you or bites your guy. And unfortunately, Denny Hamlin today was done in by some unfortunate late race events. Denny Hamlin said after the race that he was feeling numb. I don't blame him. Although I think he also summed up his takeaway pretty nicely during his post-race press conference when he said this.
Gosh, you work so hard and you do. It's just, this sport can drive you absolutely crazy because it's just sometimes speed, talent, all that stuff just doesn't hurt. Unfortunately, that's true, but we dominated. We did our job. We did the best we could. You know, they're a championship team and a championship driver, and they're going to win a hell of a lot more than just these two. But, you know, when everyone has to do the best, I think it was evident who was best today.
How could you not feel bad for Denny Hamlin? Again, did everything right tonight. You can question the decision to take 4 tires at the end. I know what they were thinking. They saw what number 11 did in the front trucks. Right night, Corey Heim opted for tires over track position, made that daring 7-wide move that stuck, won the title. The one thing that Chris Gale and the 11 team tonight forgot is that this isn't the Craftsman Truck Series. Different vehicles, different tires, and different competition. So Chris Gale, who rode out the race, wasn't second guessing to take 4, but obviously it didn't work out. Track position mattered more. 2-lap shootout. I was wondering though, with where the 11 box is located versus the 5 is all the way over here around the corner.
Easy quest.
Well, they might have had time to know that Larson took 2. Why would you not just try to cover that so you at least would stay ahead of the 5? The only counter to that maybe is, you compare your air pressures based on a 2 or 4 tire setup, and maybe they already set the pressures for 4 and trying to put just 2 on, ruin the handle of the car. I don't know, but that's NASCAR though. Sometimes it comes down to late race gambles, restarts, and sometimes the caution flag falls your way, other times it doesn't. Sometimes the tire bounces the right direction, sometimes it doesn't. I feel bad for Denny Hamlin because he did just about everything right all weekend, but he walks out here once again empty-handed. No NASCAR Cup Series championship to show for it.
But where's all the bosses at?
We must turn our attention to the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series champion. Kyle Larson joined some elite company. Before we talk about Larson,
Never worry about your phone running out of battery when you're out and about. The secret is this compact device. Have you noticed that, well,
no, we need to thank our sponsor. This episode is sponsored by Tiger Balm. If you're putting in those long hours and your body is telling you to quit, you need something that actually works. Tiger Balm has been the trusted name in pain relief for over 100 years. I can tell you firsthand, it targets the pain exactly where you need it, whether it be your shoulders or a long day of nagging back pain or stiff joints. Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power helps you rise above the pain and get back to living fast. Head to tigerbalm.com/US or click the link down in the description or find Tiger Balm at a store near you. I've been taking advantage of some Tiger Balm this week, and I have been on my feet quite a bit, gotten quite a few steps the last few days here in Phoenix, Arizona. All right, Kyle Larson was the beneficiary of a late race caution and a bold two-tire gamble by Cliff Daniels. Take that track position. Larson on that final restart, the way he rolled the outside lane in 1 and 2, vintage Kyle Larson. Go up there close to the wall, squeeze into a gap that barely exists. Kyle Larson wins the NASCAR Cup Series championship. He joins Kyle Busch and Joey Logano as the only two active multi-time NASCAR Cup Series championship drivers.
We did what we had to do to win the championship. Just insane to get us to the point.
In some ways, I wonder if this championship softened the blow of missing the championship for 1 year ago. Remember last year, Larson, 6 wins, most wins on the season, didn't even get to this race. So get here this year. Caution fell his way. Strategy fell into his lap. Take advantage. Get the trophy this time around. I'm sure Cliff Daniels, Kyle Larson will take that.
I don't know. I mean, did anybody in here think that we had a shot? Like, I definitely, like Cliff was saying we weren't dead, but we were pretty close. So
I do want to say something. I understand that the final 10 minutes of this race were emotional whiplash, especially for the average viewer at home. If you're an 11, if you're a 5 fan, you might feel different. If you're a neutral fan, I saw the polls, I saw the surveys. You were probably pulling for Denny Hamlin down the stretch. Excited to see him finally get that championship. Well deserved. For lose it late, the way he did. For Kyle Larson to seemingly come out of nowhere to claim the title. That was whiplash. I get it. I'm not here to suggest that this was the most popular finish to a race ever, but I want to be clear about one thing, in case anyone's doubting this. Kyle Larson is a championship-worthy driver. He put together a championship-worthy season. If you look at some of his full team stats, 3 wins on the year, that's the fourth most. He tied for the first, the most top 10 finishes the full season, second most laps led, with best average finishes, and if you're one of those people who value the full classic up style point system, Kyle Larson also earned the most points of anyone in the NASCAR Cup Series this year. So Kyle Larson absolutely put together a championship-worthy season. Final 10 races, while he may not have won one of the final 10 playoff races, he did earn 7 top 5 finishes. Really solid, really consistent down the stretch. I said coming into the weekend, no matter if Larson, Byron, Briscoe, or Hamlin won this championship, you could make a very compelling argument as to why they deserved it. I'm not going to argue Kyle Larson was the best car, best driver tonight, but if we look at the full season, I think you could make that argument. Absolutely. So as disappointed as I know many fans are that Denny Hamlin didn't break through and get it done,
Is that a
Kyle
boss?
Larson's a deserving champion. I think that part, I want to get that out of the way, needs to be made clear. And again, he joined some elite company, a 2-time NASCAR Cup champion. They may not have been the best car tonight, but that's not to say they were out till lunch. They qualified 3rd, ran top 5 most of the evening. They obviously finished 3rd, late race tire gamble. They had to take a couple of gambles on pit road to overcome a tire issue
Oh, he
midway
took
through
his
this
helmet.
race. Classic Cliff Daniels, classic Kyle Larson, not too emotional. They kept it even, they kept their cool, and they overcame adversity tonight to get that top 5 finish and to clinch the Cup Series championship. I'm not going to pretend this was the most satisfying race finish, but I am going to say fans should be satisfied with who our champion is. I do believe Kyle Larson. You look at the season-long stats, you even look at the last 10 races, Kyle Larson is a very deserving champion. So I don't think that should be a debate. Before we talk about the other 2 championship contenders, if we look at the top finishers tonight, Ryan Blaney won this race. Let's not gloss over that fact. And I know.
Yep, in the sweat.
2 days ago, hey, Ryan Blaney's going to win Phoenix. Y'all probably would have said, yeah, duh. That's what he does. Fall Phoenix, Ryan Blaney, yeah. Championship or no championship, he's going to be the guy to beat. And much of the night, he was really good. Long run, Ryan Blaney was
There's an actual sweat.
It's ironic, honestly, that they won this race on a short run, on a restart, because restarts were not Blaney's strong suit this evening. There was a restart kind of halfway through this race where Blaney was first. He was the control car. And by the time they got to the backstretch, he was fifth. Like, that shouldn't happen when you're as good as Ryan Blaney, as good as Team Penske. But that's how set up for the long run they were. They had a top 5, probably a top 3 car most of the night. So, I mean, Ryan Blaney wasn't the
Like,
best
wow.
car tonight. I think Denny was at the end, but was in that picture. Took advantage of the late race caution, the late restart. Ryan Blaney gets the win. Still a very good season for Blaney, but obviously a missed opportunity. You think about 1 week ago at Martinsville. If he could have closed out Martinsville, held off William Byron in the final laps, if only he could have done one position better a week ago, Ryan Blaney would likely be a 2-time NASCAR Cup Series champion. Instead, that honor goes to Kyle Larson. Finishing second tonight, Brad Keselowski. That final restart, that shakeup helped out Ford quite a bit. Blaney gets the win, Brad second, Joey Logano fourth, Josh Berry in the picture, Ryan Preece. Hold on, is that Kyle Busch Chevrolet? Kyle Busch, top 5? Wow, what a great way to end what's been just a frustrating season, no doubt. You won't see Chase Briscoe or William Byron. William Byron probably had the second best car today. He qualified outside front row. Led a lot of laps himself. Was running second. Hamlin blew a tire into the wall. Apologized to Denny in the media center after the race. He said he felt bad for being the guy to impact the championship in a negative way at the end there. I think he kind of apologized to Denny in the media center after the race. He said he felt bad for being the guy to impact the championship in a negative way at the end there.
I think just kind of seeing him, you know, he had beat us, right? And we're running second, and 4 laps to go, and going a little long about caution. So it's great. And be that guy, even if I want to change the outcome. So.
This thing, it looks like an ordinary hiking stick. This is from Rhino USA.
My ad.
For way more than walk.
William Byron will be back. I mean, he's been in this position 3 years in a row. He was my pick coming into this race, and at times today, they looked like the best car. Shame that it ended the way that it did. You know, one of these days, Fugel and Byron, that duo will finish the job. Remember back in 2016 when they were in trucks together? They had probably the best season, won like 7 races, but they blew a motor, I think, second to last race of the year. Didn't get a chance to race for the championship. One of these years, Rudy Fugel and William Byron are going to seal the deal. And Chase Briscoe. Briscoe was kind of the 4th guy all night, but credit to James Small and Briscoe for overcoming adversity multiple times. They battled tire issues all week. They could never get the air pressures right. There was one moment in this race where they may have run over debris. They blew a tire under green. I think they were off the lead lap or tail end of the lead lap, had to wave, had to get the free pass. Multiple times tonight, they overcame a huge track position loss to drive their way back to the top 10, top 5. I mean, I talked earlier about this being a very wide open championship where any of the 4 would have been a deserving champion. I mean, look no further than the one restart with 30 to go when all 4 were side by side, racing for the lead. Crazy stuff. So Briscoe, James Small, great job persevering and still being a part of this towards the end, even though I don't think they ever quite had the car of the 11 or the 24. So, again, what did I say earlier? Byron, Briscoe, even Larson for that matter, and Denny. Denny's got 2 more years. These 4 could all come back here next year. Would not be shocked. Format's probably going to change, so we may not see a single race championship 4, but I could see a championship for Chase Briscoe in the future. I could see a championship for William Byron in the future. It feels like it's only a matter of time. The Briscoe boy, dream first season with Joe Gibbs Racing. Just what a storyline. To go from sleeping on couches to racing for his childhood hero to now in his first year with Gibbs, almost win the title. They both showed me something tonight. Nobody fell flat on their face in this race. All the championship contenders showed us something. That's what we like to see. Let's put this race on the groovy gauge. I thought this thing wildly. They brought that new softer left side tire, same one we saw in New Hampshire, Martinsville.
You just didn't want to build? You just popped the Mini instead? That's not what we wanted to do.